The workshop you're about to watch has taken me 8 years of pain and agony to discover. And with our new brand, we're going to be going through exactly what I map out on the whiteboard. My friend Jumpao, who has a new brand called Helsinki House, is also sitting in on this particular workshop. So I don't hold anything back. This is exactly what we're going to be doing moving forward. And I thought it'd be worth sharing with you this creative testing process where the goal is to find your customer avatar and then drill down even further and eventually scale your brand. So I hope you enjoy it. I've got a whole thing set up for you.
Oh shit.
Because it's one thing to say I'm gonna test and figure out who my audience is, but how do you actually do that? That's gonna be revealed.
Sick.
So it's like, there's a formula to this that will allow you to do it in the most effective way, because there's a price that you have to pay to gain insight on your consumer, and that price is spent through the ad spend and your time.
Yeah.
So if you're not doing it in the most efficient way possible, it's a waste of time and money. You don't get to choose your customer avatar most of the time. Your customer avatar will be revealed through the data sets. And so how you go about testing for those data sets has a methodology to it, but it's really simple. So we'll go through that on the whiteboard. And I feel like I can give you you've got such a great business model, and it's so fresh and so new that really you can't fuck it up. Whiteboard mode. All right, cool. So the reason why I wanted you guys to come in is because we're going to have to do this for New, and then we're going to have to do this for Zero Waste Cartel's new hero products. What Jumps needs to do, because this is his Facebook advertising methodology, he needs to find the customer avatar that is most likely to purchase, and then put all of his energy and focus into serving that customer avatar. Because what we've found through the 10 years of doing this is one customer avatar will be worth so much more than all of the other ones combined, if you find the right one. And so essentially what we do is we use Facebook ads to discover that customer avatar. But you don't do that by throwing a bunch of shit at the wall. You do that through a very specific methodology, but it's simple. So we start with this idea of customer avatar discovery. And instead of starting with the customer avatar like most people would do, it's actually easier if you start with the general problem that your product solves. So you go start here and say general problems. You just listed off a few, but just give us a couple.
I think the biggest would be saving time.
Saving time. So we could call that's time, but it's also effort, right? So that's another thing. So we've got time and effort, and we can drill down into these later. The other one?
Finding mock-ups that you can tastefully present your artwork with.
So that would be status, right? That's 3. We don't have to do too many more. You can do this in your own time when you have the luxury of not being in front of an audience to think about it. But you got time, effort, and status as the 3 things. But there's also one other one that's core, which is money. You're allowing people to sell their artwork. What's funny about this is that these are the core things that sell anything. Time, effort, status, and money. These are the core things. There's a few other ones, but almost anybody can relate to this in terms of whatever business a soup crouton might have. We start here, go down into the potential avatars. You got photographers, painters,
designers.
So within all of these things, you can drill down harder and you can get more detail, but you want to approach it whenever you're doing something like this in mental model terms, you want to approach it so that you can at least compartmentalize which category you're putting things in. The discovery is you have a set of problems and you have a set of people with these problems. And what you're trying to find is the combination here that is the most powerful. And your whole brand doesn't need to be this, it's just for acquisition. If you can find 1 million photographers who wake up every day pissed off that they have to put in this much effort to put their work in, that will be so much more powerful than 5 to 10 million people of these who are just like, it's a bit annoying. They're going to pay so much more for it in terms of your business. So that's really the formula of what we do at the start of the Facebook ads methodology. You've got problems plus avatars. The whole point of this first session, like your first 3 months here, you're trying to find that which is most crucial. You're trying to find the avatar with the problem that's most frustrating and the one that they're willing to part ways with money for. Because it's going to save them so much time, or it's going to give them so much status, or it's going to make them so much money. When you find out these things, how that materializes is all of your creative just goes to that one angle. All of your ads you start playing with different hooks, and you start playing with different video types, and you start playing with different meme content. And then your landing pages all tailor the same thing. You go like your CBO campaign, you got your 3 ad sets, then your dynamic creative. Okay, so that's how it actually looks on Facebook. So you got your campaign budget optimization, meaning Facebook's got all of the control of the bidding. It's going to find the people most likely to resonate with the creative that you put down here. So every ad set is set to broad targeting, and then you've got dynamic creative in every single ad set, which means that Facebook's going to mix and match different types of creative combinations to find the one that's most likely to resonate with the audience. So essentially you've given Facebook full control. And when you do this, you're allowing Facebook to find out what's best for Facebook. The reason why we do it this way is if Facebook is able to optimize for Facebook themselves and you find the winning combo, that's what scales to 20 grand a day. But if you try to like stifle the audience and select like painters who live in the USA who are 19 to 24 and who like pugs, and that audience is small, that's not what Facebook wants, because they know more than us. So we start with this media buying strategy, and then in every dynamic creative we have 3 videos, 2 headlines, and 2 body copies. So now you choose the problems you're going to try to hit first. This is where the strategy comes in. It's not like I'm just going to come in and I'm going to do these ones today and these ones tomorrow. You go like, no, I'm going to test time with painters, time with designers, time with photographers. So now you're testing the problem with the different customer avatars. This ad sets photographers, this one's designers, and this one is, what was the other one? Painters. And this is what's beautiful about it for you at the start, is that you'd want to keep the video template the same, because you don't want the creative to be a separate variable. You don't want to go in and make like this funky, colorful thing for one over here with photographers, and then designers do something minimalist and beige.
So we're talking about aesthetics the same, but copies the...
Exactly, aesthetics the same, but copy different. Then you go through it the next week, and there's no hard rule on this. This is where you got to feel it out a little bit and be like, oh, there's something there, and you need to use your pattern recognition. But this is the basis of the methodology to find it. The key to this and understanding it is that if you have a video over here and it says photographers, this is the video itself, there's text on the video, are saving time with these mock-ups. Okay, so if that is the headline in the video, creative does the targeting now. So when you call out photographers, only photographers are going to stop. Julio's scrolling straight past that because he's not a photographer. But so photographers are going to stop and engage. And when photographers stop and engage, Facebook starts to build a custom audience based on the people that engage with this creative. So that's why like a lot of brands make this mistake of just putting up an image and there's no copy in the image at all. Or there's no copy in the video at all. Frank Kern calls it a dog whistle. It's like you call out the audience right away, and then Facebook, it's like, this is the golden age of Facebook. I don't care what anyone says. Everyone's trying to say that it's harder now than ever. I feel like it's easier now than ever because this machine learning is so much smarter than our dumb brains. So all you need to do is call them out and call out their problem. Last thing I'll say on it is that when you're in a really new industry, your creativity doesn't need to be high because the message itself is novel. So if it was sparkling water, for example, that had nothing new to it, we would have to be super creative, like Liquid Death, mega creative, like came up with a whole new way of selling water. You couldn't come in and say, our water's great, our water will quench your thirst. You couldn't do that in water. But in mock-ups, they haven't heard this message before. So the market has not matured at all. There's no saturation. It's yours. Take it.
Yeah, I would even go as far as to say that like a lot of these avatars don't even know that they exist.
Exactly. So that's why you might have to do like call them out and just be clear over clever and just tell them, like educate them a little bit, but you don't have to be clever at all, which is the beauty for you creatively is like you're gonna wanna make cool stuff because you've got that taste, but as long as you're making it crystal clear that these people cannot misinterpret your message and what you're selling, it's easy. We're in a little bit more of a predicament with new because it still is a water, but it's very new in the fact that it's a functional beverage. So our market's matured a little bit. We're gonna have to call out, bless you, we're gonna have to call out Life Cycle, sparkling water. Like what if Life Cycle and San Pellegrino had a baby? That's us. So that's it.
That was unreal.
Fuck yeah.
That was great.